안녕하세요. Hello, and we're back with more Super Junior. I wanted to check out something that was earlier, something from a little bit back in the day. So this was I guess a remastered music video for Sorry, Sorry. And I just sort of randomly kind of picked it. They have plenty of songs. They've been around for such a long time, so it's not like there's any shortage of content or anything to check out. But I just wanted to, since I heard Celebrate, which is a more recent and holiday centric kind of a thing, right? It has a Christmas theme, so it has a lot to do with that. But I wanted to hear something that I thought was more representative of the group's real sound, like who they really are musically and such. And so I wanted to check out Sorry, Sorry.
꼴 아이 눈만 뜨면 네 생각 전화게 나서 신호 하나밖에 안 보여 맘에 내가 자리 잡았는지 내게 말해줘 주변 사람들은 말은 내가 너무 적극적 세상에 그런 사람 어디 흔들리냐고 그걸 몰라 시기하며 하는 말 내가 부럽다면 그건 그대들이 지는 거 Sorry 내가 먼저 내게 빠져버려 baby Shorty 눈이 부셔 숨이 막혀 내가 미쳐 baby 이제 그만 내게 와줄래 정말 미칠 것만 같아 난 너만 사랑하고 싶어질 때 다시 한눈 팔 생각 없어 친구 같은 내가 되고 싶어 너의 모든 고민 슬픔 함께 간직하고 싶어 그만큼 너를 너무 사랑해 내가 바란 사람 네가 바로 Sorry 내가 먼저 내게 빠져버려 baby Shorty 눈이 부셔 숨이 막혀 내가 미쳐 baby Hey show dance
definitely has an early 2000s dance pop kind of a sound to it. You know what I mean? Um, I think this was 2006, maybe. Maybe I'm off there, but um, it reminded me of like the 2000s stuff, like Justin Timberlake. You know, um, that what was it? The 2020 Vision album or whatever it was called. At least a couple of the tracks on there. Um, some of those ones that had the videos, you know, but it's definitely got a big like electronic dance synth going on. Um, it's in four. We got pop percussion. There's a super compressed like snare that's going on. The kick was a little bit tricky to hear in there. I might have to listen a little bit closer, but I definitely heard that snare coming in on the second and fourth beats, and then a bit of synth percussion, like pads, just giving a little bit more of the subdivision over some of the measures there. Um, Fairly straightforward. Actually, kind of a minimal take. It's just that main synth sound that's carrying the progression, the boom, 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 like that's it's very very big. It's huge. It takes up a massive like amount of space in the mix. Um, but then you have really the vocals are good, man. There's a really good some melodies in there. Really good, nice little lines that kind of ascend and then descend in the phrase structures. Some processing on the vocals, although it's mostly for effect. It's mostly to give this electronic dance pop kind of a vibe, because of course, like one thing to take away from the Celebrate song is that they can definitely sing, right? So the vocal processing that is being used in this one is mainly just for the effect, for creating this vibe or this feel, that has that. It's very early 2000s, man. Like it definitely is. It's but it's cool. It's very cool. It was an interesting monochrome choice for the video. The being shot in black and white, having this light dark contrast that's going on. Entertaining. Their choreo is always cool, man. They have some good dancers in there. Shindong can dance, dude. Like that dude can move. Like even now, like he can still, and he's got a little bit of a throwback style. Like it's a little bit, you see that guy doing the robot sometimes and like popping and locking and stuff. But he's good, dude. He's good. Like he can do it. He can move. And they sounded really good. I was trying to, I've been watching like some of the Knowing Brothers recently, as they've had Super Junior on there as the guest, and so I'm starting to put together some of the like Lituk and some of these members' names, along with Hichul and them, and so starting to get to associate the names with the faces and the voices and stuff. But this was a very cool track, man. Let's see. Interesting intro also. I don't know how album centric this sort of introductory part is. Sometimes that's the case, definitely with Western albums. You might have like a short, almost like a prelude type of recording. It's never long, it may be a very quick song, less than a couple of minutes. So I don't know if that was if this was just done for the video, or if there's something a little bit more comprehensive as far as the album recording. But it's definitely like provocative, I guess, right? The imagery and everything in the beginning, just to kind of set the stage here to get your attention. But then it goes into actually what's a very like upbeat, poppy, dance kind of a vibe after that. It's just like R&B, very R&B. We have like some crazy string tremolo, synth bass, snappy sort of percussion, light. Okay, yeah, so definitely you can hear the kick right at the start here. And it's just the kit sounds on this, drum kit sounds are like, there's a lot of compression on them. And it's just to give this overall electronic sort of dance vibe to it, like to give a comprehensive feel to the song. But there's heavy compression on the kit sounds here. And then we like that synth is the biggest part, man. The thing that's carrying the main sort of progression on this. It's a huge part of this mix. It's everything feels kind of like in the center. Let me see. Yeah, so for the most part, like I think I'm hearing some of those like pad percussion sounds more in the right. I could say maybe the kick is a little bit more left. The snare feels right. And then that big synth though is just across the whole thing. I mean, it's just like I mean, it's a huge part of this mix. So almost like a 4 on the floor kind of a rhythm for the for this sort of chorusy part, right? This hooky sort of part. I mean, we're getting like the 8th note subdivision. We're getting the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's fairly straightforward. It's the most consistent part aside from the synth part. You like the percussion, the kit sounds straight up pop, like a pop rhythm, snare hits 2 and 4, heavy compression, a little bit more of a syncopated sound, like getting into those 16th note subdivisions for that sort of pad percussion sound that's going on. But the chorus their part is just sticking straight to the 8th note beats, and it's a little bit detached. Like I wouldn't necessarily call it staccato, but it's very concise. Every syllable that is produced is very sort of concise throughout that, but it's the most consistent part other than the synth bass. That vocal part right there, just the beginning, right? These first 2 parts, especially the first part, that sounds very Justin Timberlake, like very sexy back kind of, you know what I mean? I have to check the dates on it because I don't know which one came first, but I think this one came before it by a couple of years. So, I don't know who got the idea from whom or whatever, you know what I mean? But I definitely hear like a bit of a similarity there. That's one example of a pop sound that I actually know. I did have that album, that old Justin Timberlake album from, I want to say that was like, no, it might have been just before, right? I don't remember when it was. Might have been the same year actually. Yeah, it could have been. It could have been like 2005 or 2006, maybe even earlier. I can't remember for sure. Like I want to say it was after, because I got out of high school in 2003. I'm pretty sure it was after that, but I know it was before like 2007 for sure. So it's got to be between 2004 and 2006, and I believe that this song is from about the same time frame. So definitely a little bit of similarities there as far as the overall sound and the sort of production approach to it.
어딜 가나 당당하게 웃는 너는 매력적 착한 여자 일색이란 생각들은 보편적 도도하게 거침없게 정말 너는 환상적 돌이킬 수 없을 만큼 내게 빠져버렸어.
So sticking to the eighth note subdivisions again, this is the 1N, 2N, but now we get this descending sort of melody in these phrases here. I think we're about to go like pre-chorus or chorus, but it is a little bit of a contrast just from the opening verses, right? So we got a little bit of a contrast, adding in a descending sort of melody line as far as the phrasing is going here in this section. Oh, nice change up. See, nice change up. We had this I'm not even sure if that was the kick. It might have been, but it was super clean. Like it didn't have the same compression on it at all. It's a very round sort of sound. I think it was a bit of a different kind of a bass drum hit. And then this sort of stutter phrase, right? The like still on the eighth note rhythm though. Still doing that, but a nice little dropout of the synth there, mainly just having the kick sound and the vocal going over it. So it was a nice little break there coming out of the, I guess the second chorus section. Now on that part right there, I believe Shindong's part, I heard, the vocal processing that was going on there. And this, because of when this was produced, I believe it was relatively new at the time. And what I can appreciate about it is that it's kind of subtle. It's not as if they're drowning the signal in this processing type of effect. So it's just to create a consistent type of a feel to this, as far as that electronic dance kind of a groove to it. So not a terribly egregious application of vocal processing, because it's really not necessary. I think they actually struck a nice balance with that, but that's it sticks out the most to me in that part. But it's not, it's not bad. It isn't like anybody was leaning on that or anything. The moves, man. The moves. A little bit of a dance break here. Some synth stuff going on. nice build up there, right? It's just everything sort of gets choppy, a lot of stuttered rhythms that are going on, almost feels like double stops or something, and the synth starts like tweaking out here, man. It's just adding all of these little sweeps, real quick stuff, real concise, and then once you get that sort of double stop rhythm going on in the bass drum, the buda 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 buda, like it's a nice build up there, not too intense, but definitely enough compared to the very consistent type of rhythm that's been going on up until this point. Yeah, it was cool. It was smooth. A smooth production. Nice melody change. Totally different now. The phrasing on these lines here melodically, totally different. We're not doing that. This is all more legato stuff, longer pitch durations, like very, very cool change up here, man. They're starting to break out of the sort of pattern that's been established here. They're finding a little bit of freedom. It's pretty cool, really cool stuff. Nice. Yes. See, vocal processing, right? A little sweep there on that line there, and you can hear the compression on the drums, like so, as everything else drops out, right? That synth sound has dropped out, the sort of pad percussion drops out, and you can really hear that heavily compressed synth drum at this part. Ooh, it's almost like crushed. It's almost like bit crushed. Oh man. But very, very cool, very stylish. SM coolness. It's they've been doing it, I guess, from the start, right? I mean, it just, every SM group has this. They're just cool. They just have this swag. They just have this style, and the production is always, considerate of that. Like it's something they set out to do. And they actually do it very well. It just, outside of, I guess, I mean, it's something for Christmas is supposed to feel Christmassy, right? But when you get into these artists' actual work and their actual songs and everything, there's just a level of cool that SM is very consistent with. It's stylish, it's sleek. And I mean, with everything, right? From this to like Red Velvet to like just everything they've done always has this very, very cool like feel to it. I can actually definitely see like a consistency if I'm looking at this from almost 20 years ago. And then, things that they produce more recently. I have to check out some more, right? Visually, this is a very specific kind of approach. Like I said, the monochrome color scheme. It's like an old school classic music video stage, you know what I mean? Like the setting for this, that sort of indoor type of setting with the stage space, and the lighting arrangements that are in it. Just like, it's straight up early 2000s stuff, man. But it's cool. It's actually very cool, and it holds up well, actually. I this is fun. This is good. This is a very smooth production. Like I said, application of the processing on the vocals and stuff is not. It's just stylish. It isn't compensatory or anything. It's just done to create this overall electronic sort of dance pop vibe to it that's going on, and they get a they get a little crazy with it towards the end, but it's a nice way to taper off the song, the whole mix, the whole composition, to start breaking it down into some of its pieces. It just gets a little bit more minimal, and then the processing like ramps up towards the end there. That snare hit sounded like, like almost bit crushed. I mean, it was so like heavy on the compression and everything. It was gritty. It started to get gritty, right? And an interesting contrast just from how smooth the song actually is overall. But it's very cool. It's very cool stuff, man. Shindong had the moves, man. He was going, everything was cool. It was cool. It was a very cool song. Man, this is it's just interesting. It's just interesting to see earlier stuff and then relate it to like the more recent stuff, and definitely get a feel for that continuity that's there, that overall SM style. But this was fun, and I definitely can't wait to get into more of the Super Junior stuff, which is something I'm definitely gonna do. Definitely gonna check out more of their songs, and because I bet they've changed up over the years. I've heard like little bits and pieces of stuff. I haven't, and this is from if they have an appearance on like Knowing Brothers or Idol 999 or something like that, and they have something where they want them to dance to certain song selections. You don't get the whole song. You only get like, a few seconds of it or whatever. So there's definitely different sounds and styles that are going on. They do different things. It's not like they just do one thing the whole time. So there's a lot of stuff to look forward to as far as that. But yeah, this was cool. Sorry. Interesting production overall. Definitely an early 2000s joint. Like it has that like all throughout it, from the mix to the visuals. Everything just has like that early 2000s feel. But it's good. It's a great song, great performance, holds up still, and has that signature SM coolness to it. I don't know, man. I don't know how they do it, but they just it only gets better over time, really. So that was fun, and we'll definitely keep checking out more Super Junior. There's been a ton of suggestions and recommendations for their songs. Just obviously they're a super popular group that's been around for a long. They're one of those groups that has made it, through the 7-year contracts. You know what I mean? They're on their third contract renewal now. So they're just one of those groups, man. They're one of those groups that has set themselves apart for sure. So it's no surprise at their popularity and that everybody likes them so much. So that was fun. I've been looking forward to this, and we'll get into more earlier generation K-pop stuff too, because there's plenty of stuff to check out. So we're gonna do that for sure. But this was cool. This was a good time, man. Just wanted to check out something earlier from the repertoire of works for one of these groups that I'm beginning to really enjoy now. Mostly got introduced because of Knowing Bros and Heechul, and come to find out that they have this group, and they're such a big group. It's been around for so long, so it's been fun. It's been a fun process to learn about it, and this group as like one example of that, going to the earlier times and connecting them to the present. So that's a fun thing. It's fun to hear what's going on now, but it's equally fun to discover the stuff that came before and what was there earlier. So that's a very fun thing, a very fun part of getting into this. So we'll definitely check out more. And that was Super Junior with Sorry Sorry.